Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm buzzing, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm finally on the bank. I've only done 2 sessions since Christmas and it's the last week of the season and I'm out and I'm fishing and we're going for pike. We're back on the lake, we're back on that lake where it holds some really decent fish. Even the small jacks are piggy fat, they're really decent fish. So like I alluded to, it's the last week of the pike season. There's only a few days left. I'm hoping that all you guys are getting out there and enjoying yourself. We've been very, very lucky and very blessed with the weather for the next 2 days. It's about 11:15 at the moment. So I've made sure that I've took my time setting up. I've got all my rods out. I've just cast the rods out. I know we was here at 7 o'clock, but by the time we've all had a chat and tried to find swims and so on and so forth, the particular venue that was fishing last time in the video you saw, it was empty that time. But this time, unfortunately, there's a few people that are on. Now, a couple of them are going to be moving off, and then hopefully what will happen is we will then become aligned so we can have our social. The problem is we're still how can I say it, we're still a fair distance away from each other, which is a bit of a shame. It is a bit of a crying shame, but I'm fairly close to what Ted and Kelly are going to be in the next swim from me. Then it'll be Keith a bit further along, and then further on from him it'll be Dan. So at some point hopefully we'll catch up with the rest of them, and hopefully they'll, if they catch any fish, because it's a little bit of a distance for me to travel and walk to without having to bring my rods in, hopefully they'll capture some footage for me and I can insert it in the video at some point. But as I said, it's the last week of the season. I'm absolutely buzzing. It's only my 3rd session this year due to all the storms we've been having and personal life, and you know how it is, and not having a car and so on and so forth. You know, I can make a million excuses why I didn't get on the bank, and you guys know main reasons why I don't get on the bank. But we're here, and for 36 hours I'm buzzing. As you can see, the lake behind me is absolutely beautiful. The sun's come out, the drizzle stopped. It shouldn't rain now for the next 36 hours. I'm going to give you a good old look around the swim, where I'm going to be casting to, everything I'm doing within this session. I'm going to literally blog everything. So I'll show you the tackle I'm using. I've got something really ultra tarty to show you a little bit later, and hopefully we can catch up with the guys as well. But for now, the rods are in. I'm just going to kick back in my bivvy. I've got the bed chair all set up, everything's set up now. Well, I've even got the waist sling and the scales all set. Everything's set, ready for a fish. So I'm going to get in the bivvy, I'm going to lay down on my bed chair, I'm going to chill out, and I'll bring you back a little bit later and we'll have a look at the swim, all the tactics and tackle and everything I'm using, and then hopefully we can put a couple of fish on the bank for this session. I'm absolutely buzzing if you can't tell. So I'll speak to you real soon, guys. Right folks, so I've had a little lay down for an hour, take the strain off my feet. So it's around about sort of 11:45, half 11, 11:45 at the moment. It's on day 1. So while I've got it fresh in my head, I thought I'd just give you a little look around the swim. Before I do, I've actually had a couple of little knocks on the rod tip, on the one closest to me, and the alarm's gone. So like just a couple of little knocks. It could be small silverfish knocking against a line, it could be all sorts, not necessarily a pike, but just yeah. So I've had a couple of little and the rod tips sort of bounce, but again that could be anything. So here's my swim. Like I alluded to, the crew London LPA team are all around the lake at the moment, so I'm just going to sit down for a second. So they're all around the lake at the moment, all different places. When I last came here, I was fishing just over there in the swim over there, which we call Barry Swim, or the first swim, and that's where we was fishing before. I can see someone's float over there, so I'm assuming it's either Keith or Dan. What they're doing is they're roving around the lake during the day. That's the kind of fishing that they're doing. So yeah, they're moving around, and then later on tonight there's guys next to us in the swim on the right hand side of me. So the next swim, Ted and Kelly are going to jump in there at 4 o'clock, and then Dan and Keith and along from them. So I'm the furthest right, then it go Ted and Kelly, then it go Keith, and then it go Dan. The problem is for a social wise, we're actually quite far away from each other, so it's not like I can walk away from my rods unless I'll wind them in, which I may do later depending on how my legs are. My legs are really bad, so I don't know how much of a social this is going to be. It's just nice this morning, taking our time, setting up and having a good old chat and a chinwag about just bits and bobs before we even started fishing, really. But like I say, it was a little bit torrid this morning. It was a bit wet and windy. As you can see down there, it's a little bit boggy still, but the sun coming out. We've got 2 days of lovely sun. Hopefully it will dry everything out. Might get a little bit of frost in the morning. We're not too sure. It does go down to low singles degree wise. There's a little grebe over there. So it is my swim. So just in front of me, I could have one just off the reeds here, but I haven't. I've straight away cast to the far back reeds over there. Now I've not seen any signs of spawning at all from any fish at all, not carp, not pike or anything. Recently catfish have been coming out of this lake around the £50 mark, at least 2 of them that I know of. So I think Kelly and Ted, maybe Keith may even go for the cats on one of their rods, possibly in the evening, overnight. But the rest of the time they'll be piking. So yeah, I've got one against there, and that's a sardine. I'm ledgering on both at the moment, just on the bottom. Later on I might try fishing up in the water with a pop-up or a paternoster, sunken paternoster rig. We'll see what happens, but yeah, just over there. And then I've got one couple of rod nymphs down here in the channel, but more to the left hand side, and that's the one I've been getting a few little dids off of. But like I say, that could be silverfish or tench or anything that's knocking the line, carp. Yeah, and that's basically what I'm doing at the moment. So what, as promised, I'll show you around the swim how I set up for 36-hour session. I think I may have shown it before, but I'm just showing you like current day how I set up. I mean, I don't do much night fishing nowadays, but let's just give you a little look at what I do for night setups. So you may have seen my bivvy. This is I ain't got much room in this swim. This is my bivvy. This is a 50-inch brolly system from Fox. It's the Super 50 from Fox. I got it on a really good deal because they kept upgrading it. I think they even brought one out with do you know you can get the skull caps on some of the tracker brollies? Well, they had one on the inside, I think. So yeah, it's only 50-inch. I got a really good deal on it when I was bringing out a new version. You may have seen it before in some of my fishing videos. I haven't got the front panel on. I probably won't even have it on tonight, even though it's going down to about 6 degrees. I should be okay without it. Then I've got a flat liner bed chair. So the bed chair underneath is a flat liner, and that's a Fox flat liner. Obviously it's got the camouflage pattern. It has to, because I'm a bit of a tackle tart and I like everything the same. Just my personality, unfortunately. And that's a flat liner. That's the medium. So you get 3 different sizes in that. You get the wide one, you get the small one, and you get, which is the compact, and then you get the standard, which is the medium. More than big enough for me. Fox are very, very strong bed chairs. They last me for quite a while, Fox. Being a 40-stone man, I usually cave them in pretty quickly. Although I broke the leg on this when I've had the legs extended, I've epoxied it in. It's the leg on the other side. It's epoxied in, so it can't be extended now. So I'm quite low to the ground on that. So, but I have means and ways of getting in and out of bed quite quickly. So yeah, I got obviously the holofill. I got my coat under the pillow, but I got a holofill pillow from Fox. I'm not a Fox maniac, believe it or not. I do like Fox products, but I don't own everything Fox. But when I buy one thing, I like to buy everything similar if I can. But you'll notice a lot of what I've got today is Fox luggage, basically. The sleeping bag. Now I used to have a Fox sleeping bag, believe it or not, but it was a little bit too small for me. I hadn't bought a sleeping bag for years, because I had one for about, I don't know, 12, 13 years, a JRC sort of cocoon one. But it had seen the best part of its days, and I had to sort of lob it and get a new one. So I was a little bit out of touch. I put on a little bit of timber since then, and forgetting that I needed to get a bigger sleeping bag. So it was a little bit too small for me. It's more for a standard size person. So rather than being oversized, I give it to Keith. As you can see, this is actually an oversized one. This sleeping bag is, I think it's called the big carp bag, or big sleeping bag, or big sleepy or something. It's made by Gardner, I know that much. And it's very wide, it's very comfortable. I've done a night in it already in cooler conditions, and it's absolutely fantastic. I can't fault it. It's one of the best products I've actually bought for a long time, and I don't buy many Gardner products, but that is awesome. So yeah, like I say, I haven't got the front panel on the bivvy. You can buy these brollies still. This is the 50. I don't know if you can get a 50. You can certainly get the 60s. I don't have a ground sheet. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the ground sheet when I got this. I did have it, but I don't know what happened to it. Ground sheets are really good in the winter, for those of you who don't know or are not into your night fishing, because obviously they keep the temperature in. Unfortunately, I haven't got it, so I use a mat, which is a camo. It had to be a fox camo mat, didn't it? It's like a doormat basically, and obviously it's just so I can stand up on it and I'm going to put my feet in the dirty mud, basically, all the wood chippings. So yeah, so that's the bivvy. Like I say, you can buy this bivvy in the 60-inch version. Comes with the storm poles, and it comes with the internal poles, because there's some storm poles just there. But it's a really, really nice bivvy, and like I say, you've probably seen it before. That up there is just that's just the sleeping bag that comes in, the compression bag. So yeah, okay. So I've got a net. The net I'm using is the Gunky. It's very easy to transport. It's a large Gunky net. I'm not really into Gunky products personally, but it's a really nice net. I've seen other people use it. Some people have said it's not been very good. Some people said it's actually a fantastic product. It's quite a large net, and it's ideal for any pike that swims in here. You know, you'll certainly get pike into 25-30 pound in that if need be. But most pike that swim in this lake, you know, that's more than happy. I'll get doubles in that quite easy. Obviously, I've got the tripod with me, just a Manfrotto tripod, for those of you who are wondering what tripod I use. I'm going to get in the bivvy now and just talk to you about some other little bits and pieces. Oh, I will show you these a little bit more later on, but these are the new rods and reels, and I'll go into a little bit more depth. I'm not going to go too deep in it. Reason being is I'm going to do a proper in-depth product review on those, which probably won't come out till next season, because I've only just purchased them, and this will be the first time I use them if I catch a couple of fish. I can actually see a fish scale on there actually. That must be from one of the dead baits. There we go. Absolutely stunning. But we'll talk about more about them later. And then obviously I've got my rod bag in the tree, and I've got my bivvy bag in the tree, just hanging from the tree, just to keep it off the ground, because it was all sodden and, you know, it was all muddy this morning. It seems to be drying off a little bit better. I've not got the best balance at the moment. So yeah, I've bought an additional rod. I've got a wobbling rod, so I've got a little spinning rod, which I'll show you a little bit later if I do a bit of wobbling with some smelt. You're not allowed to lure fish on here, but you're allowed to wobble smelt, and well, you're allowed to wobble sea dead baits, and smelt's probably the best thing to use. So let's get in the bivvy. I'll show you this in a moment when I sit down. So let me just pop down. Oh, that's better. So I've got the Camelite bag. This is the Ruckle type bag. More than enough to carry all the bits and pieces I need. I didn't bring any cooking equipment with me today. I do have the brew kit from Fox. Absolutely fantastic item. I like to take every now and again. I'll take on a day session. But this is just the basic Camelite Ruckle. Carries, like I say, every bit of item I need in there. Terminal tackle, even got clothing in there as well. On top, I've got a waist sling. Normally I bring me big old waist sling with me, but I want to keep down on tackle, because obviously I bought my 36-hour stuff. So I'm not going to weigh every fish. If I get a fish that I think's worth weighing, then I've got a waist sling there, which has got a nice PVC in her. It's made by Pike Pro. It's like the old Fox ones they used to have. It's really smooth, it's really kind for the fish, and it's really large as well, so I can weigh any sort of fish at any size that way swim in this water pike wise. Then you see I've got what most people should never go without: bolt cutters, and these need to cover the trebles on a pike, and then obviously my forceps, and then I've got some scales made by Quorum, which I use for all round fishing. Normally I bring my big Rubens with me, but it's just another extra heavy item to bring with me today. And like I say, because I've got the bivvy and bed chair and all that, I wanted to keep sort of things down to a minimum. And like I say, I'm not going to weigh every fish. Dead baits are just there. Again, Pike Pro. This is the new sleeve they've got. And I've got the Pike Pro scissors. In there I've got all my dead baits nice and fresh, kept in there lovely and fresh for with a dead bait pack, you know, the freezer pack. I've got mackerel with me today. Got mackerel, sardine, herring, and smelt, sorry. This is interesting. Yeah. Probably wondering what this bucket is. Normally you're accustomed to seeing me using my proper bucket, you know, using my green camouflage jack pike bucket with me logo and all that on. Well, this one is a new one I actually bought myself. It's ridiculous. I was looking at Ridge Monkey, and they make the buckets with a toilet seat on now, because this is in fact a toilet, and they make the toilet seats, and it's like 40 quid for the whole lot. And usually money's no objects for me, really, if I think it's a good quality product to have. But I'm a big heavy lump, and I just don't think that those Ridge Monkey ones are going to take my weight, especially the fact that they're only rated to 25 stone. I say only, but not many people weigh that amount, let alone 40. So what I've done is this one here I bought off of Amazon, and it's cheap as chips, really. I've never used it before, so before you think why have I got food in now, it's never been used. It's brand new, and I won't be putting food in there afterwards neither. And you can see it's got a toilet seat. I've got bin liners in now, which are biodegradable, with cat litter to obviously clump toilet together. Look, I'm not going to beat about the bush. We all go to toilet. We all need to go a number 2 sometimes. I'm very nervous, and I suffer with anxiety with food and my tummy and stuff like that. I can't take too much food. I need to use a loo a lot of the time during the day, even at home. So I get very anxious and very sort of nervous when I go fishing any longer than 24 hours. So this is one of the reasons why I purchased it. So yeah, I've got a toilet roll and everything I need to use in there. I've got my food in there. Obviously the food's going to come out the first time it gets used. After that, obviously nothing like that's going to go in there again, apart from toilet use. But it's got the biodegradable bags. Once you go to toilet, you've done your number 2 and you're finished, and you've wiped your bum, whatever you're going to do. It's got a cat litter. I'll put a sprinkle in the cat litter in there, and obviously cat litter clumps it all together and keeps everything nice and fresh and keeping the odour down, that kind of thing. And then obviously I'll dispose of the toilet mess, and then obviously you're good to go for the next one. So you'll put a new bag in, fresh bag. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. For any of you guys that do overnighters, you know, on Amazon, it's called the Big Loo. I paid about 19 quid for it on Amazon, and if it can hold my weight, I've been sitting on it all morning on this part here, and it holds my weight at 40 stone. It'll hold anybody's. So it's also doubling up as a bivvy table, just there. There we go. This is my new Camelite Fox bag. I know you're all laughing, another Fox product. No, I'm not sponsored by Fox. I have no affiliation to Fox. Everything was bought with my own money. And this is the new gadget bag, which I think is fantastic. Now, I do own the Ridge Monkey gadget bag, the griller boxes, and they're fantastic. But this one I find to be, it suits me better with the way it's laid out. So I've got my tablet in now. You can just see I've got my chargers. That charges the tablet and my phone, my wallet, Norwich, not much in there. And then I've got a Ridge Monkey power pack, and it just pulls off the side there. You open it up and the wires can come through, so you can use your item on the outside without having to take the power pack out. So yeah, it's the smaller of the 2 power pack. It's a green one, and I think it's fantastic. It lasts me ages. Then I've got my camera in there for vlogging and obviously what I'm doing now, filming. I've got me GoPro. Sometimes I take my GoPro, sometimes I don't. The reason why I bought it today is when I do a little bit of wobbling later, I can wear it on my head like I do when I'm lure fishing. So that was the idea between that, and obviously if I get a really nice sunset or sunrise, then obviously I can use it to do some time lapses, that kind of thing. And I've got my Ridge Monkey head torch. Now I also have 2 bivvy lights as well. If you look, you probably can't see it, but if you look on my tripod, there's an adapter on there where I can actually have a bivvy light. Maybe I'll show you a little bit later. I've got a bivvy light on there where you can I can film, but I can have the light shining at me at the same time, so it illuminates me and the fish while I'm filming and taking photos at night time. So that's my little setup really for doing nights. I'm probably going to put a film on in a minute and just chill, relax, and hopefully I'll get that first run. And I haven't seen any of the others since earlier on, since I sort of kicked back and got in the bivvy for the first time. Now I was in no rush to get the rods out. I just wanted to make sure I got everything nice and settled, and just got my, basically to set my stall up, make sure I'm nice and comfortable. There's not many swims that you can jump in between, and I'm in one of the better swims. This is where a lot of, if you've seen the other videos, a few of the 20s have actually come out of this swim from the other London predator angler team, the LPA team. You know, Kelly's had one from here, Ted's had, not Ted, Dan's had 220s from here, and Steve, who's a friend of Dan, who you saw in the last vlog, they all had 20s from here as well. I'm not saying this is the be all and end all of all swims, but you know, it's got good form, so I think that's one of the reasons why I stuck me in there, because I'd like to see me catch one. Plus it's nice and comfortable for me because I can't sort of walk too far. It's quite a small swim. It's a lovely little day session. I had to sort of manoeuvre the bivvy round, and yeah, but that's my swim. I wanted to show you set up. There's my rods there. I wanted to show you set up, how I go about doing my 36-hour setup, and yeah, I think we're going to kick back now, stick a film on or something to watch, might have a little bite, something to eat, and wait for the rods to hopefully go peeling off. So I'll bring you back if anything happens.
Right, here's a first.
Catfishing. This beauty on luncheon meat. Its mouth is full of silt where it's been eating all of the crap that we put in for the catfish to eat. And it's luncheon meat.
Let's have a look down his mouth.
Open his mouth now.
I called a silt in there, look. Absolutely, it must have been upended in the silt, picking all the bits of meat and boilies and stuff off the bottom, and yeah.
Inside its mouth.
Fat though, isn't it? Really leached up.
Whoa,
It's been eaten off the bottom.
that is one strange
How
bit.
fat it is though.
Because it's full of silt. You know that bloodworm thing?
Yeah. Right, let's get him back in. Take the mat over there, Dave.
How mad? What was the catfish? It ran like the wind.
She's like Black Beauty running. See if all the silt comes out when he. Hold on, Dad.
Second time. Second time I've had this fish.
She's like, oh, for God's sake, hurry up pike season and fish.
Not again. How many times?
Yeah.
She's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's no good because of sunlight.
Yeah, I've
The
come over this
sun's-
side.
Yeah, that's good. Yours is excellent.
So just chilling in the bivvy. It's absolutely beautiful laying here. Just watching the film. I was watching The Wedding Singer. But I got a little bit bored of it, so I'm just flicking through films to watch now. So yeah, just laying here in the bivvy. I've had my phone turned on airplane mode because obviously when I'm filming I don't want to be disturbed with loads of little pings while I'm filming. And Keith's come walking past behind my bivvy and he goes, "Oh, you awake?" I went, "Yeah." He goes, "Have you seen your messages?" I went, "No, I've got it on airplane mode because I'm filming, or been filming." He goes, "Have a look." So I had a look, and Kelly's had a 21-pounder again. It's a particular fish that we know of called golden cheek, or what I affectionately named it golden cheek, and we all call it golden cheek now. And it comes out from time to time. Some of the guys have had it before, but yeah, it's 21 pound. The EA bailiffs are checking licenses at the moment, and they were there when she had it. I'm sure I've got some filming footage that's probably been sent to me, or a couple of photos, so I'll insert them into the video so you can see. But she's fishing for pike, but primarily she's used luncheon meat and stuff like that for catfishing, and she's had 3 pike already, and all I've had is a couple of little and it's about 12:30, 1:45. So yeah, it's a little bit quiet around here in this back bay, and she's on the other side of the water. But golden cheeks territory is where I am usually in front of me. That's where she normally swims around, but as a known fish. But to be fair, it'd be nice to catch a a different 20 to be fair. She's been caught a few times. Dan's had her as well, and she's a beautiful fish. She's still holding her weight at, you know, between 21 and 22 pounds. So yeah, I'm pleased for Kelly having a couple of fish, but yeah, she's primarily catfishing as far as I'm aware. So yeah, to get 3 pike already, she's a proper machine, Kelly. Yeah, she's obviously in the right place at the right time, fishing for them. I've put my baits out, like I say, and I've not had a sniff as of yet, so fingers crossed, you know, my rods can go off, but you know, there's nothing really I can do apart from what I'm doing now. I mean, I could float fish, I could go roving, I could get my wobbling rod out, which I will do later. Get the wobbling rod out and have a little wobble, see if I can induce something to take. But yeah, it would have been nice to have had a fish by now, but you know, still got sort of another 24 hours plus a few hours on top of that, so it's not even half a day yet. So just gonna continue to lay here, watch a couple of films, just chill out. I'm in a lot of pain with my back at the moment, so and my legs are playing me up, so yeah, I'm just gonna chill out and do what I planned to do when I came. You know, I'm not a very active angler anyway, so just fingers crossed my baits do their job. 2 dirty, smelly dead baits out, so let's see what happens. Okay, so it's about 1:15. Still no sniff after Kelly's had a couple of fish. So I thought what I'd do is I'd actually wind one of the rods in and put a pop-up on. I think that's going to give me hopefully a better shout. I'm going to put a smelt on it. That's what Kelly had the 21 on. They seem to do really well on smelt. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick a smelt on. Fingers crossed, pop-up smelt. It's quite a visual bait in this slightly murky water. I really do apologise if you're getting wind noise. But yeah, let's reel one of the rods in, stick a pop-up on, and fingers crossed it might give us a bit of a chance. Let's do that now. So the rod I'm going to do it on is the one in the channel. I've got a big herring on at the moment. That's the one I had the knocks on earlier. So we'll have a little look, see if there's any slash marks. It's a big old lump of a bait. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's got a bit of debris on it. As you can see, some debris on the bottom, but nothing, no slash mark, so I couldn't safely say that obviously that wasn't picked up by a fish. I reckon they were line bats. They felt like line bats, so yeah, I think next step is to get that pop-up rig on and then get it out and see how we go for the next couple of hours. With the sunlight hitting the water in this bay as well, I'm hoping having it popped up, maybe half depth, maybe just under the surface, because it kind of works like a carp adjustable zig rig. So there is going to be a video on that. I don't know if I've put it up before this video, it'll be after this video, but there will be a video on it. So right, let's get that rig on. Okay, so just pulled that rod in. As you've seen, this is what I've had on it so far. You know, just a standard ledger herring. So I've just brought this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick out a pop-up rig, a pop-up smelt. But to utilise this time of the day with a lot of sunlight that's going into the water, I'd be absolutely crazy not to have a little cast around before casting the pop-up rig out with a wobbling rod. So I'm going to wobble smelt as well. That's the bait I'm going to use on pop-up. I'm going to also wobble it as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this rig off. Obviously keep the rig. Beauty of these, I don't know if you've seen these, I've mentioned them before, link lock swivels. I always use them now. I never used to use them in the old days, but what I like about them is the beauty and the quickness. So I've got the rig set up, it only took me a couple of minutes. The quickness of taking this off just by turning it off. So I've just dismantled it, taken the rig off, and the quickness of putting a new rig on. Could be a pop-up or a different bait. There's the that's the pop-up rig, pop-up smelt, polyball. So it works like an adjustable zig rig. So just by clipping it on, literally it's on in seconds. As quick as that, it's done. So that rig is now ready. That rig there is now ready to be cast out. So what I'll do is I'll fish it, if you can imagine, the legs will be sitting on the bottom, and that'll be popped up. That'll be popped up, obviously, straight-wise, be popped up like that. So it'll be popped up off bottom, the length of the trace, which is what, 18 inches plus 6 inches. And then what'll happen is I can adjust the depth. I can pull it up and down to let it go up and down to adjust the depth exactly how I want to fish it. But I'm going to put this one to the side just for a moment. I'm going to set up the other rod. I'll stick the head cam on just in case I get a take. I'm just going to put this to one side for the moment, and then I'm going to get the wobbling rod out and grab a little wobble, only for maybe 10-15 minutes, just to see if there's a fish in the area. With the sunlight hitting the bay, although it's a little bit murky water, the colour of that smelt, which is so bright and pearlescent, hopefully I can invoke a take. I'm definitely going to give it a go later, especially at last knockings, but I'm going to give it a go now, because, you know, it can't hurt. I've not had a fish of yet, and fish are coming out, so especially to Kelly. So yeah, let's give it a go and see how we get on. I'll bring you back in a little while. Right, so let's do a bit of wobbling. You never know, I might get a little bit lucky, at least have a couple of casts around. Let's see if there's anything there that wants to bite. So that's out there where I had my bait before, my dead bait. Make sure that clutches. I haven't wobbled for ages, especially without a float. Just giving it sweeps of the rod tip, let it settle, a couple of jerky moments, basically like a lure really. There's a scattering of fry there, or silverfish there. Did you see that scattering? Oh, there we go, fish on. Hey, first cast, fish on. Can't complain about that, can you? Unbelievable. I think I might be able to hand land this one. Let's be a bit careful. Yeah, it's just a bubba, this one. There we go. Oh, only just nicked. Only just nicked this one. There we go. Got leeches on him. That's not bad, is it, for first cast? Oh, look at all these leeches. This one's been laying up. Full of leeches. That's probably about, it's less than a pound. Unbelievable. So that's not bad, is it? That was the right call to bring that rod in and have a little cast out. A little bit of movement. I lost my smelt. But yeah, perfection in miniature. Unbelievable. Well, can't say it's a blank, can we? Absolutely beautiful. I hope you're getting this on the GoPro. Right, let's release this little one. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's release it. There we go. Fantastic. Unreal. First cast, first fish. Right, let's rig up and give it another go. Okay, so you saw me catch that little jack. Only a pound, if that. Great fun on that light tackle. Let me show you what I was using. It's a skinny water rod. You see me use these surface fishing, but this is a spinning version. This is the smallest one I own. I do own a bigger version to this. I own a 8'2", 20 to 60 gram, but this one, I wanted something quite light, and I'll tell you why in a moment. This is 7'1", 10 to 30 gram. Absolutely fantastic. Great little rod. It looks the part as well. I do love it. You know, it's really sexy looking. I really love the skinny water rods. I had to wait a long time for them to come in the UK before I could actually get my hands on these. And that's coupled with a Dower Ninja. It's the original first version. I bought one of every size to use for my spinning. 50 quid each, give or take. I think they're probably cheaper now. And that's coupled with 22-pound braid. More than enough for this sort of fishing. I'm going to give it another little go later. I mean, it's only a little opportunist go. 18-inch wire trace, my standard wire trace. 2 size 6 trebles. And then, as you can see there, I put a split shot at the bottom. That's one of those SSG shots, and I've actually clipped it onto the trace itself rather than put it on the line, because on the line it can damage and fray it possibly. Putting it on the trace, it just ensures it ain't going to happen. Now, what's really good about that is that I can cast, and it will cast a bit further, and also that will want to sink with the dead bait. So as it comes down and you're sweeping it, it's going to come at all different motions. The bait I was using was smelt. It's one of the best baits. I don't do much of this fishing. It's over 10 years ago since I've done any type of sink and draw fishing, to be honest with you, and it's one, I don't know why. It's one of those things I should always take along in my rod case. You know, if I've got 2 dead bait rods or whatever, I should always take one of these along if I'm allowed to do this kind of fishing. And yeah, just mounting it in the head. And I've only got 2 smelt left, apart from the one that's on a pop-up that I'm going to put out now. So I might have to persevere and use a mackerel maybe. I don't know how well we'll get on with mackerel, but basically it's just a bit of fun. It's just it's an opportunist type of fishing. That's one of the things that I need to bring into my actual fishing, is a bit of opportunism, because I'm one of these guys, once I've got it in my head the type of fishing I need to do or want to do, sometimes I don't adapt more than what I should do. It's not that I can't, it's just that sometimes I don't do it because I want to catch by design. Some of us are guilty of that, some ain't, but you know, this is a lovely little handy rod. Like I say, perfect for using lures, and I would have loved to have brought some spare lures with me, but sink and draw method, yeah, it's kind of hooked me a little bit. It makes me want to do it a little bit more now. But I've lost 2 baits out there. The smelt are not very good quality. They're broken up, and yeah, although they were frozen, I had to sort of thaw them out a little bit in order to give them some movement. If they was frozen solid, they wouldn't have had no movement to them, so I had to leave them in the water for like two minutes just to soften up, so they can give them that movement. And putting a little bend in the bait, so rather than having the bait straight, you know, putting the 2 trebles in the bait, having it arced gives it a little wobble as you bring it back. But yeah, that's great fun. I really enjoyed that, and I'll certainly be giving that another little go a little bit later, maybe today or tomorrow. We'll see how slow it goes today, and maybe I might give it a go in the morning or something like that. But first things first, or next things next, let's get this little baby out. And I think this will probably give us a really good chance of hopefully picking a fish up. And then we'll just sit back and we'll see how we get on. Let's cast it out, eh? Right, so I just had a little beep on the right hand rod that I recast. It was on just after I put the pop-up out on the left hand side. I recast the right hand rod. It was against the reeds on the far side with a sardine on it since this morning, and I've had nothing on it. But since then, I've recast it into open water just out here, and I've thrown a load of chunks of bait over the top, like chopped up herring that I had on the left hand rod this morning that I've changed over to the pop-up. So I had a single beep on there, and I saw the line move up twice. Now it could be just a fish moving through the swim, but it could also be a fish that's picked it up possibly. So I'm just going to have a quick investigation just to see if anything's happening. So let's go and have a look. The line seems to have stopped in the water. No, there's no movement on it now. It's a very sensitive, delicate pickup. Here we go. Got to run. Yep, got to run. Here we go. I'm in. Oh. I'm in. Oh, this is on the popped up smelt. Proof that it works. Proof's in the pudding. Trying to get into that margin. Haven't seen the fish yet. It's not a bad one. coming fairly quickly. Oh, nice fish. It's only just hooked by the looks of it. Yeah, it's only just hooked. Got to be careful with this one. You can throw the hooks at any point. Slacken off a little bit. That's a good fish. Could go double. That could be a double. Wow, what a good fish. That's a double, if not a near double. But that's just first impression. Right, let's get ready. Weigh it, unhook it, and we'll have a little look. Right. Wow, what a way to christen my rods. What a way to christen my rods. Coming fairly quickly, so. Okay folks, so I've just had a 13 pound 2 ounce pike. There we go. 13 pound 2 ounce on my pop-up rig, pop-up smelt. It actually worked, couldn't believe it. I'm absolutely buzzing. I really wanted a double for this last session and I've had it on the first day. I have no idea what the time is. It's got to be getting on for at least 3:30. But there we go. Solid fat fish, really heavy. 13 pound fish, absolutely buzzing. So yeah, took the pop-ups sardine, pop-up smelt, the rig I showed you earlier. It's been gorging on a load of freebies I've been putting out there. So maybe I'll put a couple more freebies out there. So let's get this one back, eh? Absolutely beautiful and stunning for the end of the season. Brilliant. She's a really big fish as well. Absolutely awesome. So yeah, I had her just out there because earlier on I had a herring on the bottom, big old herring. Brought it in after a couple of hours, not catching nothing, and then I put I had in mind to put a smelt on after talking to Kelly because she had her fish on a smelt. And she said to me, you know, it's the colour in the water, you know, it stands out, so on and so forth. And I agree with her 100%. It's what I had in mind as well, so we're on the same wavelength. And before I pull it out, I thought I'd have a little wobble. Managed to have that little panned fish on the first cast, which was brilliant, and then cast it back out. But when I'd done that, the herring that I had, I cut up into chunks and I chucked it around that area, and I also chucked it out just out in front of me, some bits as well from earlier on. And yeah, this fish had been gorging. So pre-bait shows that this works, and Kelly said all the big fish she's had, she's caught them over pre-bait. Now pre-bait to me, I'll be honest with you, I've done it a few times. I've not, you know, it's one of those things I've not really successful on, I've not really done too often. But pre-baiting, you kind of, I believe it was something that you had to do over a period of time, a bit like with carp. When you go and introduce a little bit of bait, don't tell anyone, don't let anyone see what you're doing, keep going back, putting a little one off, and then get the fish trained into that area. But for some reason, pre-baiting for pike, I mean, you know, and you never stop learning. I've been doing this for 21 years. Again, I've never had a campaign where I've used pre-baiting. I was under the impression that that's what you needed to do, but no, you can pre-bait in the same session as actually catching your fish that you're going to go fishing for, and it seems to work. So I've learned something new. You know, you never stop learning. So let's have a little look at her, see how she's getting on. Oh, let's see, she's down there, making sure the gill's working lovely. I'm not going to release her just yet. You can see she's beautiful colours, absolutely stunning. And I told you this is a 13 pound plus fish, and this net, you know, dwarfs her, so this net is perfect. I think it's a lure net, but it's perfect for dead baiting. But you can see she's absolutely stunning. Gills are working lovely. We'll just leave her to rest for a minute, and when she's ready, we'll let her go. Just kick it a minute ago, so let's have a look at her. that was a great release into the bank. Yeah. Call that a chunk. Crazy.
Throw them back out.
Nah.
What you got, Dan? Nice colours.
Not bad. You've been grabbed at some point.
Nice fish. Fat, isn't
I
it?
think it's a male though.
Massaging it. Nice.
I'm well known for that.
Right, let's stick it back.
Watch your folks. So, just hunkered down, or just hunkering down for the night now. It's just starting to come on twilight. The rods are still out. And yeah, just landing a bivvy. Watching, I've just got it on pause at the moment. I'm just watching Bloodsport. Not Bloodsport, Kickboxer. Might watch Bloodsport after. I feel in a bit of a Van Damme karate mood tonight to watch. So yeah, just watching Kickboxer. And yeah, just all settled. Just got the potty. Not the potty, I just got the toilet ready just in case it's needed during the night. Ted and Kelly are now in that swim beside me, to the right of me. They've just spotted out a load of bait. They're just getting prepared really for the night ahead. Dan just popped down to the low. Dan's, so it's me here, Ted and Kelly to my right. Then to the right of them it's Keith. And then to the right of him it's Dan. So me and Dan are on the outside. I'm far left and Dan's far right. Keith's had 2 fish. I've just seen the WhatsApp group that we have, just updating. Dan's had a couple of fish. Keith's had a mid-double, I think, and around 13, 14 pound, a bit similar size of mine. And then Dan, and then he had a 9-pounder. A slightly smaller fish that I think Dan got sort of his finger caught, got a bit, I think, or yeah, I think he got caught on the tooth or something like that when I were looking at it. So yeah, he just popped down here a minute ago to see if we had if I had any first aid kit and that. Well, he come down just to chat, but it's funny because I usually carry a little first aid kit when I'm piking. It's an old PAC kit that I've had years, and I just replenish it. But for some reason, I actually took it out. I actually took it out of my bag for some reason, but yeah, not for making anything any lighter. It's not very heavy. It's just a couple of plasters, alcohol wipes, and Germaline, that kind of thing, just to keep wounds clean. I think they're gonna have a curry now. Dan cooked a curry up last night. I'd love to have some because Dan's a fucking fantastic cook. When we go island catfish and carp fishing, not island, France, carp and catfishing, he does all the cooking. He's awesome cook. I love his really homely culinary skills, homely cooked food. But unfortunately, I'm not going to have any tonight because I get very nervous eating on the bank. Even though I've got my own little portable toilet now, which makes me feel so much better. Yeah, he made a curry last night for everyone and sort of brought it down. He's going to warm it up and that for everybody. So yeah, just chilling here, like I say. I had a sandwich earlier on. I had a sort of beef and mustard sandwich. I've got plenty of food with me. I've got a couple of Cornish pasties, and I bought 2 penguins with me as a bit of a treat. Chocolate penguins. I've not eaten them, I'm saving them. I might have them tomorrow. Bought water with me. I was going to bring my cooking equipment, like I may have said earlier on, but I didn't bother. Temperature tonight, well, it's been really beautiful today. It's been really sunny. This morning was a bit drizzly when we first come here, but that was to be expected when I looked at the weather. And then we had loads of sun and sort of cloud cover, but it was really nice and sunny. And then it's going to be 11 degrees. I just checked the weather now. It's 11 degrees up to 12 o'clock tonight, and then it rains for an hour, supposedly. and then it drops temperature down to 6 degrees 4 a.m. and then tomorrow it starts to shoot back up again to 10 degrees during midday, and it's going to be really sunny tomorrow, but it's going to be a little bit of a chill factor, I think. I'm hoping, because I've got the bivvy door wide open with no porch. I've got porch, but I haven't got a bivvy door. I've left it in me bag. If worst case scenario needs to happen, I'll run and grab it and put the porch door on. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'll be okay once I get in the sleeping bag. I'm just laying on top at the moment. I've got layers of clothes on. I've got a nice warm coat if need be. I'm not even bothered getting a sleeping bag yet. So yeah, I'm all settled down. Everybody's caught so far today, which is fantastic. So it's been a really good day one so far. I think the guys are hoping to catch some cats, some muggies, maybe catch a carp. Keith might trying to catch a carp. But yeah, day one's been really good and I've really enjoyed it. Like I say, it's not been the social that we all hoped it would be. We're just a little bit too far away from each other, unless we wind rods in to go and spend time in each other's swims. So my knees and my back and my ankles are really locked up at the moment where the cold's got to them, but it is what it is. As long as I can get up and strike the rods. I might not fish all night. I may bring the rods in for a couple of hours to get a bit of kip, so you know, I can not have to worry to run for the rods. I can get in my sleeping bag, hunker down and have a good old kip. The last thing I want to do is sort of scramble for my rods and deep hook a pike. So, but yeah, there we have it. Day one, all done and dusted. And unless I get a couple of fish during the night, I'll see you in the morning. So tight line and dead baits, and I'll see ya in the AM.
That's her. Just very well behaved.
It's because she's probably knackered as well. Oh, lovely. Oh, it's well worth the 50
PB cat? Is that when you got to get him and throw a bucket on you? Huh? It's warm enough. Jesus. Well done.
Cool.
Woohoo! It's a heavy fish. I think it'll be a 40. It'll be alright. Sit up there.
See, it's because of the other end. No, it's off the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, it's off the ground. Stuff him so. The sling's quite heavy in itself.
It's 50 in the slings.
Yeah, 50 in the slings.
Just weigh the sling after.
Mid-40s, isn't it?
Nice.
Cool.
Well done. You excited about your first catfish?
Yeah. Not a bad start. Fairly well.
Yep.
Oh, he's lively. There she is.
Oh, beautiful.
First catfish of the year. Spent the day pike fishing. Caught some nice pike. And then chucked some, it's lively, chucked some pellet out. And all the old bait from the freezer. That was left over, dead baits and all the old boilies, crushed them all up. Spodded them out. And then put a couple of Cat Pro squealers over the top. And got this. Beauty. What was it, about mid-40s?
Yeah.
Right, you ready?
Yep. Go on then.
Come on. Come on.
He's stubborn.
That's the beauty of letting them in the sling. Angry now. There you go. Nice fish.
Yeah.
Even though it's still a bit cold.
Well done.
Well done.
It was a funny old fight, I tell you.
You tell us. Why was it a funny old fight?
It just sort of,
It fought hard.
yeah, but it didn't try and go anywhere. It was
Down
just-
there in the reeds it did. So it wiped out your other rod.
There you go.
First cat of the year.
That's under this fish.
Nice one.
Apparently there's £120 pike as well, according to one fella. Over that way a bit. What's that, mate? Dan with his pink hat. So we're just about to weigh a catfish that Dan's had. It's quite a large catfish. Like I said, there, guys, we're going to do a bit of catfishing and they're using Catfish Pro pellet. What was the pellet again, guys? Squidders. They're just sticking on the weighing it. Here we go. Oh, you said near 60, didn't you? Yeah, 57 pounds.
Is it on the floor?
No, it's off. Yeah, it's off the floor, it's swinging. 57, that's not bad, is it? That's your UKPB, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
He's had £120 from France, but they're different animals out there.
Why does it feel so heavy? It's like 57.
What do you mean only £57? Only £57? Jesus. There's no pleasing some people, is there? It's only 57.
It's
Well, when you're in the 100 club, gentlemen and ladies.
no. That's awesome.
That's brilliant.
So biggest UK fish, aren't we?
Right, so let's get some footage and some photos. So there we go, lovely. Something I didn't expect to see was a catfish while we're pike fishing. But end of the season, it's starting to wake up and it's resulted in this lovely beauty. Fantastic, Dan.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank
Lovely PB for you there, son.
Cheers, dude. Nice one.
Look at that. Takes two of you, mate, because it's a lump. So look at that. As we said earlier, caught on a Catfish Pro squiddly pellet. Awesome stuff. Look at that for a catfish. They go bigger in here. Oh, it's blowing a hoolie. Right, we'll get a couple of snaps of this little beauty and we'll put her back. Morning everyone. So, yeah, didn't get much sleep last night, unfortunately. Not because of fish, really, on my part. I just couldn't get comfortable on my bed chair. I'm definitely not designed and built for night fishing anymore. Not to say that I'm not going to do it. I don't do it that often anyway. I feel so stiff, my shoulders and my back, and getting in and out of the bed chair that's quite low to the ground is quite an ordeal now. I look like a beetle on its back, as I say. It's just gone 6 AM by a couple of minutes. I'm just laying in bed. I was going to get up before first light. As you can see, it's a beautiful morning, if what, slightly chilly. This sleeping bag, I've got this gardener sleeping bag, the camo one. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's absolutely quality. It's one of the best things I've ever bought. It is so warm, but unfortunately, like I say, the rest of it, the bed chair and all that, just doesn't really agree with me. Some of you guys go out and night fish all the time, I have no idea. Oh, mate, it can't help you back at all. Anyway, as you can see, I've not got my rods in. I pulled my rods in last night and I was going to put them out just before first light. I just wanted to be able to rest in bed and not have to panic about jumping out of bed as quick as I can. Finding it difficult getting it up as it is, but I had to get up quite a few times to go loo last night. But as you saw, lots of activity happened with the others last night. So let's try and think about exactly what happened now. I don't know what's happened with Keith. I know Keith worked the night before and then come straight from work to pick me up to bring us to the lake, and he had done sort of 3 or 4 nights in a row before that, so he must have been absolutely shattered. So Keith's zonked out. He didn't have a nap during the day yesterday neither. He fished quite hard to try and catch a fish, which he did. He was the last to catch. He's the only one who hadn't catched up to the point where he had a lovely 14 pounder or 13 pounder guesstimated, and then one just sort of up a single, maybe a 9 pounder. You'll find that a lot of us now, I do from time to time, if I think I've had a double, I'll actually weigh it. But you'll find a lot of us, unless they think it's worth weighing, they don't bother anymore, unless they think it's a real big one. Sometimes I just like to weigh it myself, but some of the others don't. So yeah, Keith had those fish just before dark. Can't quite remember if I actually mentioned them or not. And then the guys started to get settled down, putting their catfish rigs out, their pellets and boilies and whatever it is. I'm sure some of them still had pike rods out, I'm not sure. But I left mine until about 10 o'clock, I think, 10 or 11 o'clock last night for a reeled mine in. After having that little run, as I went to go to the toilet, my right hand rod tore off. I think I mentioned it already, and not being able to wind into a fish. I think the fish robbed the bait, but didn't get the hooks in its mouth. Yeah, and then Ted had a catfish of about 40-ish pound, I think. Obviously you're going to see all the footage that I'm going to put in, and you've seen it already. But yeah, Ted had a catfish, and Dan had a couple of catfish drop runs and stuff, and then he ended up with a 57 pounder, I think it was, in the end. So yeah, it's been quite an eventful night for the others. I don't know if any fish have been caught since then, I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know if I'd say it's quite a surprise, but yeah, I know the guys were just wanting to do a bit of early season catfishing. You know, this is the last pike session. I thought they would have really gone out and out for the pike, but they've had such a successful season with the pike. You know, Dan's had quite a few 20s, Kelly's had quite a few 20s. You know, Ted's had just under 20s, so they haven't sort of really missed out. That they've started their catfish quite early, especially in the night time. I suppose they might put pike rods back out again during the day, or maybe leave the catfish rigs on, I don't know. But sorry if I sound a little bit just woken up. So yeah, so I'm gonna get up, go to the toilet, and then I'm gonna think about what I'm gonna do with my rods. I might put just one dead bait on the bottom out, and then put a pop-up out like I did yesterday. I might even have a wobble, I don't know yet. I might just wait till later. I don't want to use all my baits up for that. I've only got 2 smelt left. The reason why I like using smelt as pop-ups, because they're quite light and they're quite visual, but also they make a very good wobbling bait. As I think I mentioned all this yesterday, but they make a very good wobbling bait because they're, again, the movement they give, they tend to stay on the hooks usually quite well, but the batch I got are not the best in the world. But look how beautiful that morning is, absolutely stunning, isn't it? I don't really want to get out of my sleeping bag just to enjoy this morning, really, but needs must, got to get up, get the rods in.
Still got till later on today. I don't know if we're going to pack up at last knockings or if we're going to go a little earlier. Sometimes Keith likes to go a little bit earlier, but we'll see. We'll see. But hopefully we'll have another good day and a couple of more pike on the bank for you. Right, let's get cracking. Morning, mate. How you getting on?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything since that 57 last night?
No, I lost one about 4:30 this morning. It
Did ya?
came off. Yeah.
How big do you reckon it was? As big as the last one, or?
It fought harder than the others.
Yeah.
It took a lot of line, but unfortunately the wind was blowing so hard it blew a big loop in the braid.
Right.
And yeah, it got caught around the handle. So I was trying to play and sort that out and half asleep, and it was just a nightmare. So
Yeah, I know.
it came off eventually. It pulled the hook out eventually. But
What? Closer than that, or?
nah, it was probably half. It was still out in the mid lake. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a bummer, isn't it?
That's alright. I've had a good night.
You guys have done well with your old pellets to the catfish tonight, ain't you?
Yeah, man.
Fucking brilliant, absolutely brilliant. How do you reckon? I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to carry on catfishing, or are you going to put some pike rods out?
I'll pike again today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the last time for pikefish. I can catfish anytime, can't I? So
Well, that's it. Yeah, you got the catfishing season come up. You've had a
Yeah.
nice 57 that's UKPB as well.
it's
So,
UKPB.
UKPB, well
Yeah,
done.
Yeah.
A little bit different from catching a £120, I suppose, but
That's all right. It's still nice to catch something that big in this country. It's nice.
yeah, I'm going to be gutted not to be catfishing this year myself. But yeah, it's always next year, isn't there? So,
Good series, mate. Yeah. They'll only be bigger next time.
well, yeah, yeah, you look at it that way. But I've just recast my rods out. I put a herring out with loads of chunks over the top, just out, I don't know, 2 rod lengths out from this margin on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side I've just put the pop up down the channel like I did yesterday that I had the fish on.
Lovely.
So yeah, fingers crossed we can at least get a couple more fish amongst the 5 of us.
We should be able to. I reckon we'll pull a few more out today.
Well, we've all caught, we've done alright, haven't we? So you know, even if we went home now, we'd go home quite happy. I certainly would anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a
fishing here to be caught, so fingers crossed the rest of the day we can get a few more, mate.
Yeah, lovely.
Just a quick little one, this one. This is just to show you what I do a lot of my filming on. I actually have a camcorder in my bag, but I rarely use it nowadays because I don't try and get arty-farty shots or so on and so forth. I just really have it as a backup. I tend to use my phone. I've got the S9 Edge, Samsung Galaxy. It's not the latest one. I think it was last year's model, and I find it absolutely fantastic for filming, taking photos. Occasionally the focus, the autofocus can go a little bit ski with, but yeah, that's what I tend to do a lot of the filming that I do on. It's pretty awesome actually. Just going to take this nozzle off and I'm going to show you how my camera setup is and how I do self-takes at night time and self-takes during the day and all that. So the pod is a Manfrotto. I think I paid about £30 for it. It's red and grey. It's not really carpy, I suppose, if you can see that in the lovely morning sun. Not very carpy, but it's very lightweight, and I can take I can take it apart basically, and it folds down into my bag. Absolutely fantastic, and I tend to use this for 95% of my sort of filming. Now I have another Manfrotto one, a black one, which is probably more suited to go fishing with because it's not as bright or as flairish as this one, but it's a little bit heavier, so it's a next step version up from this in terms of sort of build quality, not build quality, strength and size. So it's a next version up, and I use that for doing a lot of the vlogs at home, you know, when I'm filming, talking about reviews or whatever it is I'm doing, filming when I'm talking about how to make floats, whatever. If you can hear a bang in the background, that's I think they're guns going off. I think it's the hunting guns in the far distance. Now, yeah, oh, just had a touch on the right hand rod with a herring on. Might be a line bite. I'm watching the line in the water and it doesn't seem to be moving at all. That's like a secondary indication, especially with flat calm water. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, this is moves on a ball head really. No, it's really fantastic. You can see it moves all different directions. It's very easy. Just tighten it up with this part here. I'll show you what I mount the camera, the phone on in a moment, because I'm using it at the moment. But at night time, what I use is this. Obviously, you've probably seen this before. It's a Ridge Monkey fitting. You can actually put these onto sort of bank sticks. That you get a bank stick adapter, but this particular one clamp, it's got a clamp on it, so you can clamp it to your bank stick, if you want to, or onto your pod. But I tend to keep it on my pod all the time if I can, if I know I'm going to do night fishing or whatever. And then I've got this duo bivvy light. It's not the latest version. Let's turn it on. There you go, and it really does illuminate you up for taking a night picture. It's 87% at the moment, so it's actually got percentage on. This is you get two types. You've got a bivvy one, and then you've got an all-purpose one. This is an all-purpose one, and it's got magnets on the back, so you can fit it to your bivvy or whatever if you want to. But I like the all-purpose one because I can leave it outside during the night and it's waterproof. And what it does is it's got magnets on the thingy, and it just clips on like that. So when I do a self-take photo, you know, let me take this this part off, and I'll show you. Right, so this is the clip that I use. I bought it from Amazon. It's called a Woo Shot. Is it a Woo Shot? Can you see that there? So you can imagine if my phone was clipped in now, you can actually adjust it. So it adjusts. And yeah, the phone's in there, and obviously with these new modern Fandango phones, you can whistle. I think there's a few apps called Whistle, but in these modern built phones, you got things where you can say cheese, and you can set a self timer, all that sort of thing. So it's perfect for getting sort of night shots or self night shots, that kind of thing. Fantastic. And as you see from the Catfish last night, it's actually quite some nice shots that was taken using this setup. It's taken a long time, I suppose, since I first started fishing 20 years ago to have this kind of developed setup for self-take mode, especially when you're on your own. Before, you'd have all wires and you can use SLR, but this is like a cheap way of doing it using your phone, as opposed to taking the quality of self take cameras now on phones is so much easier for doing selfies and that. And for fishing, it's really sort of, it's come on leaps and bounds really. You ain't got to take big SLR cameras unless you really want the creme de la creme shot where you want a shallow depth of field, that kind of thing. Then that's the way you would get a really nice picture. But using your phone can be equally as nice if you know how to set it up and you've got the right lighting. So yeah, that's what I use for my self-take photos, and especially at night time using the Ridge Monkey Duo Light bivvy. Right, so let's crack on with the fishing. Oh shit, I've got another run. I've got another run. Shit, come on, Baz. Oh. Yes. Yes. Oh, what a lovely fish. Oh, it feels a good quality. Right, so I just had another double, my second of the session. It's fairly early in the morning still, not entirely sure the time. £12.10, pretty sure it's 12.10, 12.10? 12.13. 12.13, there we go, buzzing. Right, I don't want to keep this fish out any longer, so let's get it back. Fantastic, I can't believe it. This water has produced for me once again. That's 3 doubles in 2 sessions. I'm really, really pleased. Nothing in the stamp of what the others catch with their 20 pounders, but you can't go wrong with that, can you really? Absolutely solid fish. Let's get her back, eh? And hopefully catch another one. So I've just got this pike in the net. Just drop her nose down. Just waiting for her to shoot off, release her, and there she goes. Down to sulk. Fantastic. Second double of the session. Absolutely buzzing. Fantastic. Let's rig up and get another run again, hopefully. Right folks, I thought this would be a good opportunity to introduce you to my 2 new babies. Some people say I'm a bit of a tackle tart, some people say I'm a little bit pretentious. I like to say I'm both a little bit sometimes, and I won't apologise for it. I've worked hard all my life, but never been able to afford the type of tackle that I've always wanted. Getting a little touch, a little knock on the rod. So I've just had a fish a minute ago, £12.13, that's just been returned, recast out, and after recasting I'm getting a little couple of knocks on the rod. It's on the pop-up one, just there. Just watching the rod tip where the line enters the water. If we get a run, I'll certainly be hitting that straight away. But yeah, let's return back to what I was saying. Now, I'm a little bit sort of pretentious, as I said, and I like personalisation, and I've worked hard all my life and never really been able to afford the tackle I've wanted till recently. But I had to do it. Let me introduce you to my little babies. I was going to do a tackle review on them, and maybe later on down the line I will do, but I need to put them through their paces. So far I've had 2 doubles on them, so 1 on each rod, christened both rods, so I can't really go wrong really. So yeah, let's have a little look at them. They're Free Spirit, special bank pike 12 footers. Now there's no line rating to them. There's no line rating to them at all. There we go. Special bank 12 footers, absolutely beautiful. They do them in 11 footers. They also do the boat versions as well. Now I believe the boat versions are a little bit more stiffer. Now there's no ratings to these. I actually went to Free Spirit themselves and asked them about a rating in terms of test curves, and they don't have them, but they're roughly, give or take, these particular rods, 12 foot special bank pikes are roughly around 3¼ pound test curve, whereas the boat ones, 10 and 11 foot boat ones, they're around 3½ pound. Now
These ones again are beautiful rods. They come in 11 foot, but 12 foot is exactly what I wanted. It's what I've always used all my life, until recently when I started using sort of 10, 9 foots for travel purposes and fishing small waters. But as you can see, we're fishing quite a large water. I want to cast out big heavy baits, and that's what these primarily are used for. So yeah, these are, as I say, the special bank pikes. Got 2 of them. Bought them from Johnson Ross. Johnson Ross are one of the dealers that sell them, as well as places like the Tackle Box in Dartford. I was going to get some custom built rods, but I didn't know which ones to get. And I've always been a fan of Free Spirit, and I wanted a rods that I didn't want to put. I mean, I could have had these custom. Oh, let me go again. I could have had these custom. I could have had my own whipping on there, maybe something like a red colour whipping, whatever colour whipping I wanted. But I wanted to have them as shop bolt, basically. I wanted them as you buy them, as you see them as you buy them. Could have had my name put on them like I've had other rods, and I just wanted to keep them just standard. You know, these are going to be my longevity rods. Absolutely fantastic, beautiful rod. So they're, I think it's on high modulus carbon. I think it's 36T, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it's a lovely blank. Very, very nice, powerful butt. Through the butt section it's powerful, but they're quite tippy. So any head lunges under the rod tip, you know, they're certainly going to absorb that. And like I say, if you buy these from, say, Johnson Ross or the Tackle Box, again, I'm not affiliated to Free Spirit. I'm not affiliated to any of the tackle shops. I bought them with my own hard-earned money. These rods will, they become cheaper the more you buy. But because I bought 4 rods, I bought 2 pike tamers as well, 10-foot boat rods, 2.5 pound test curve, all for my little travelling purpose rods, my all-round travelling purpose rods now. I got them a lot cheaper. They go down in price. So if you buy one, obviously the price is the price, and then as you buy 2, they go down, so on and so forth in prices. Different shops do them at different price rates. Now I understand these are considered purchase. The cork handle on them is absolutely beautiful. It's high grade, grade A or double A, I think, cork handle with a silver butt cap on them. As you can see, silver butt cap. I've coupled them with some 8,000 bait runner, Shimano bait runners, which are really nice reels. I bought these a couple of years ago and I'm very, very pleased with them. I used these on my Fox rods, but I've now coupled them onto these Free Spirits. I think they go quite well with them. They balance lovely. You've got Fuji fittings for the reel seat. The reel seat doesn't wobble about. You know, with some smaller reels like bait runners, they can wobble on these sort of big heavy duty pike rods. I found that out in the past with like the Prowler's Platinum rods. They just wobbled for England, but these ones they don't wobble. You know, those larger reel seats are more for big pit reels, but I'm not a big fan of big pit for pike fishing. I actually prefer using bait runners, 8 to 10,000 size bait runners for 12-foot rods. Yeah, you'll certainly be able to cast these. I've cast a massive, great big heron, a full heron earlier on, which is getting on for just under £1, if that. It was a massive heron. It's not the one I had the fish on. I'm talking about yesterday. I just launched it to see how it would cope, and it literally done it with ease. I didn't launch it too far, probably only about 40 yards, but large enough for me to test the rod and see what it could actually do in terms of casting weight, and that was with a 3-ounce lead as well. So yeah, if anybody's looking for a considered purchase, I would certainly recommend these Free Spirit pike rods, the special ones. The tamers are brilliant. Go for the tamers if you're on a budget. Any Free Spirit rods, I can't talk them up enough. I've got 3 tench rods at home and a barbel rod, all Free Spirit, and I love them. I absolutely adore them. And I would have cart rods from Free Spirit as well, but unfortunately I'm too much in love with my Nash entities and I can't part with them. Lastly, you probably noticed, and I've been putting it out on Facebook. Oh, knock on the right hand rod. See, just before I go back to what I was talking about, on the right hand rod just out there I had I put a load of pre-bait out, and I'll continue to put a pre-bait out, and that's where I've had the fish off of. And they had been eating my pre-bait. I didn't see any coughed up from the last fish, but certainly the fish yesterday coughed it up. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, you can see I've tarted up my Fox drop arm indicators. These are the Mark II versions. I believe they're on Mark IVs at the moment. And these ones I've tied up, I've actually put jig skins on them. I don't know if you can see them. I put jig skins on them. You can see the red coming through. I should have really painted them white before putting jig skins on them. But yeah, you can see I've got the little pike markings on them. Really tarty, ultra tarty. I do like a little bit of personalisation on my tackle in general. And that's why it just had to be done. I never knew that people had done it before. Some people have shown me that they've done it before. Once I posted these on Instagram to show people what I've done. I've also done it to some pike floats as well, and I ordered a load more jig skins so I can do it. But they're so hard to come by. I had them sort of imported from Singapore. But yeah, absolutely fantastic, really ultra tarty, and anybody can do it. It's not like you know, I have to make them for anybody. You know, you can actually do this yourself. Fantastic. I should have really painted them first, but what's the beauty of them is if I don't like them and I want to take them off, I can just cut them off and there's no damage done to the rods as well, to the heads at all. So that's my little dead bait set up for fishing on alarms. You've seen Delkims. I've had Delkims quite a few years. These ones are over 12, 13 years old, coming up to 15 around that time. I can't part with these ones. These are the pluses. There's new Delkims out, as you've probably seen. As you can see, the potential side of me, he's got the London Predator Angler logo on them. I had them done a couple of years ago. Yeah, and these are still going strong. I was going to retire them for me new set, but yeah, no need at the moment. Just keep holding the new set till these ones break. I'm a big fan of Delkim. I'm still, the jury's out on me with the new ones, but we'll see. I might get a set of the EV versions, the cheaper versions, because I'm not really into TXIs and all that sort of receiver stuff. I'm not really into all that, so I don't tend to do too much night fishing, so yeah. And I don't mind the alarms going when I'm pike fishing, as long as they're not ultra loud and they disturb anybody else, then you're okay. Just on the water like this where there's no one around me for quite a while. Anyway, just thought I'd show you my setup, and yeah, let's kick back and hopefully we'll get another fish before the end of the day. Fantastic. Right, so another fish has been bagged and another 20. How big's that one, Ted, roughly? 21, another 21. Wow, fantastic fish. Proper nice bodied fish. Now they're smelt, didn't it, mate?
Had a smell, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Another 20 bagged. Well done, Ted.
Thanks, mate.
Top man. What a session everybody's had. Fantastic.
Awesome.
Top man. Let's get her back, eh?
Cool. Oh my God, it's absolutely... It's like the end of the world.
Apocalyptic catfish.
First Brexit, then the coronavirus, and now the end of the world. But we got a catfish, so it don't matter. Oh, and it's a right angry one too. Oh my God. Oh. Nice one, Kelly.
Right, folks, so you can see I've reeled my rods in. There's a grebe out in front of me. I bet they're gorging on the freebies I've been throwing out just in front of me. Where I had the last fish, I've been putting a lot of free baits out there and fishing over the top of it. I've got a mackerel that I've been, obviously you can see on the right hand side, that mackerel was what's over that rig. I had it on herring earlier, but I might put a herring back on, cut that mackerel out and throw it over the top, because obviously they've been gorging on my baits. And then the pop-up rig I've had down the channel. Now I actually moved it from the channel and put it onto the far bank, and where the reeds are just over there. So you see just the reeds. Against, really tight against the reeds, and I had it like the length of the trace off bottom, and I didn't have nothing on it for a little while. So yeah, I decided to do a little bit of wobbling. Again, I had nothing on the wobbling baits, using the last smelt I had. I had a good half hour doing that, nothing. So what I decided to do is reel my rods in for a little while and go for a little bit of a social, go and sit with the guys in the next swim, Ted and Kelly. As I was sort of getting ready to walk around now, Dan come running around and said, oh, Dan, Ted's just had a 20 pounder again, like another 20. Kelly had a 20 yesterday, 21, and Ted's had a 20 today. So shot round to the next swim, and they'd weighed it and everything. It was 21 pound. Obviously you're going to see a little bit of footage of me with the fit, well, Ted with the fish, and obviously me taking some photos. But yeah, so yeah, Ted's had a 21 pounder as well. Different fish, absolutely fantastic. Kelly had her fish on the other side of the lake, and Ted has had his on this side of the lake. So yeah, he reeled his catfish rods in and put his pike rods out for the day, and then it proper hoolie. Like last night, it was really strong in terms of wind and rain, especially wind, and it's just blown through just now. You can see the dark cloud over the back that's just gone through. Absolutely mental it was. And yeah, and as we're sitting around there and the rain come pelting down on me just after we released the fish, Kelly, who's fishing somewhere over the back there, past Dan and Keith's swim, her rod's gone off and we see her bent into a fish, and she had a catfish. I'm not entirely sure the size of it. I think it was around the 30 pound mark. Again, I'll insert video, pictures and stuff, and video if there's any video that the guys took for me. And yeah, she's had a catfish. She wanted a catfish badly this session, so I'm really made up for her. Ted's had his 20 pound pike. Me and Keith are the only ones who've never had a 20 from this lake as of yet. And Ted's had these, so I'm really pleased with him. So it's been a manic session, it really has. It's been fantastic. Can't fault it in any way. Obviously I would have liked to have had a few more fish myself, but the two that I've had so far, the two doubles I've had, I'm well pleased with. Just having the one double, these guys fish all the time and they're always catching doubles, so you know, to them it's just not just another double, because obviously it's a nice fish, but for me it's a big thing because I don't get on the bank nowhere near as what I'd like to. But then saying that, you know, times will change, you know, in the future times will change. But at the moment as it stands, you know, I don't get out as much as I want to, so or possibly can. So to have two doubles in a session, and the day's not over yet, the sun's just coming out now. You can see that dark cloud, as I say, in the background. I'm going to put my baits back out. You can see it's all nice and blue over the back there. The bivvies have been proper pelted down on for about 10 minutes, so everything's wet. So I've just got to let everything dry out again now. Hopefully it'll be all dried out for we can pack around 4 o'clock later on. I think it's about 3 or 4 o'clock. Have a slow pack down, and we've got to be off by 5. So yeah, hopefully bring you some more action. If not, then later on there'll be a conclusion, obviously, but I'm sure there'll probably be some more action between now and then. Like I say, I've reeled the rods in. They're just sitting there for the moment, because I was going to sit around and have a little social with the guys and have a little chat and stuff, but little did I know that Kelly's moved around the other side of the lake to go do a bit of catfishing and left Ted over here with his pike rods. So yeah, there we go. Let's just chill, kick back, get the rods back out again and see if we can bag a fish. Yes, I'm in again. So I've just dropped one. And I've just hooked another one. So I just dropped a fish on that rod, literally just sat down, and the other rod's gone. So the right hand rod, I just dropped it, cast it in. I don't think this is a very big one. It's coming in quite easy. But it's another fish. Don't know. Might be another double. Oh Jesus, it's just hooked. There we go. Right, so another fish, another double, £11.6. I'm having a really great session. £11.6, absolutely stunning. Another decent fish. Slightly smaller, £11.6, smallest of the 3 doubles I've had so far today. Ted just walked past me and told me that Dan's got another good fish on the other side of the lake, so he's gone round to help him. It really has been an awesome session, it really has. Absolutely fantastic. One last look at her, we'll get her back, and I've had a trio of doubles. I couldn't have asked for much more, to be honest with you. This one took a sardine, the other rod went, missed the fish, I had it on, it shook the hooks off, recasted it, sat down, and then this one went off on the other rod, on the left hand rod. Awesome. Let's get her back, eh? Right, so got the £11.6 fish in the net, just recovering her. She's been in the net for a little while now, so I was just waiting for her to kick really before letting her go. She was really feisty when I landed her in the net. Here she goes. She's starting to show a bit of interest now. What we'll do is we'll drop the front of the net and we'll let her swim out in her own time. Gills are working lovely, as you can see. Just waiting for her to move off in her own time. She's been well rested. 3 doubles in a session. I really cannot I can't comprehend it really. So we'll get a close up of her. Hopefully she'll swim off in a minute, but there's no rush for her. Here she goes. Lovely jubbly. Probably the best swim off of all the doubles so far. Oh, absolutely buzzing. Right, let's get rigged up. Let's see if we can get a fourth. Maybe a PB. Right, how you doing guys? Right, so it's about 1:30 at the moment, and it's all been fun and games again for the last 20 minutes. Now, I probably already said this when releasing the fish or talking with the fish, I can't quite remember, but I had a run on my right hand rod, struck into it, and it felt like a really heavy fish, probably bigger than I've sort of had so far for quite a while. Playing it in, sort of shook the hooks and came out. It could have been a cat. Didn't feel like a cat bite, it felt plodding like a pike bite, and shook its head and the hooks come out, which tells me it was a pike, because you know, pike, they love to shake their heads, don't they? So shook the hooks. I couldn't have sort of hooked it, but it was a really proper positive run, pretty much like what what's it called, like a jack does. Know when jacks pick it up and they run with it. Bigger fish tend to be a bit more slower. That's just what I find generally. So it's not always true, but that's just from my experiences. Now, I cast that rod back out, bearing in mind they were both on sardine. I'm really getting down to the nitty gritty of my bait now. So we're both on sardine. I had that run on the sardine on the right hand rod. Okay, so I recast it back out again with a, what did I put on it? I think I put the last sardine on it. so I had an extra sardine. Put the last sardine back out again, it went. Sat down, literally just sat down. 3 minutes later, sat down, and then the left hand rod rattled off. The one down the channel. Now, it wasn't actually in the channel, the left hand rod. It was more towards the reeds. I'm thinking, if I put it not right up against the reeds, but maybe a couple of feet off the reeds, with this sunlight shining and hitting into the water, they're seeing silvery baits. So that's my thinking of not putting the mackerel on, because I've had nothing on mackerel. So I've took the mackerel off, and obviously that's why I put the sardines on. Now I'm out of sardines. One rod's still fishing with a sardine on, which is the right hand rod that was recast, and the one that I had the fish on just a moment ago, that was on what was that on? Oh, that was on sardine as well. It was on the other rod. So obviously I've lost that sardine now, so I've only got one herring left, a big beast of a hot herring. I had one of the fish on this yesterday. I think it was the 12 pounds 13 I had on the herring. It's a big beast of a herring. Size 4 trebles I think on this one. That's what I've been using, size 4 trebles. Standard rig, bottom bait rig. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to luzz this back out into the same sort of area, sit back, and hopefully I can get another fish. But yeah, it's all kicking off. You know, I could have possibly had 2 fish on the bank a minute ago, but yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles. But I'm on my 3rd double. Yeah, I really can't complain. I really can't complain. That's 3 doubles this session now. It's been a long time. It's been a good couple of years. I don't know, maybe 12, 13, 14 years since I had 2 doubles in a session. Yeah, at least, yeah, 13, 14 years since I had more than 3 doubles in a session. It's incredible. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one cast out, sit back. Like I say, it's about 1:30 now. I'm going to start packing the bivvy and all that away around 2:30. We've got to be off at 5, but obviously Keith's got to load his car, and he's got to drive down to me and load me up as well. And we don't want to sort of pull it right down to the last wire. We've all had a good session. I'm not sure if any of the others have had any more fish since. Possibly. It's beautiful weather. I don't know who's doing what at the moment. I saw Ted walk past me a minute ago saying that Dan's given him a shout on the other side of the lake. So I think Dan must have been roving, that he's got a good fish on, and Dan and Ted's gone running around there, but I've heard nothing since. So I've got so much footage and so much to edit. It's going to be such a long video, this. You know, I might have to put it out as a 2-parter. I really would prefer to put it out as one big long feature-length video, because you know, I like uploading those ones. So anyway, let's get this cast back out again, sit back, and hopefully see if we can get a 4th double. It'd be really nice to break a PB. I think that'll make it for me now, breaking a PB. So anything bigger than 16 pound 14 ounce is going to be a PB. I mean, we've already had amongst the group 2 21-pound pike out of here so far, loads of doubles to boot. That's without the catfish being caught. So yeah, a couple of hours left. Let's see how we get on.
That's into a good fish. Ledger in a smelt. Fishing for pike, but I don't think it's a pike. Might have looked into a catfish. 15-pound mono and 2 3/4-pound pike rod. John Wilson's. Definitely put in a bit.
So the guys
Hold that close.
got a lovely little catfish there. Well, I say little, another 57, isn't it?
50 something.
50, yeah.
Mid 50s.
Mid 50. Absolutely fantastic. Proper beast. So what we're going to do is have a quick snap with it all together, and then we'll get it back. So it's another 50-pounder on the bank. Unbelievable session. Well done, Dan.
Well done.
Top man.
Yeah. Do you reckon about 15?
Yeah.
Nice little end. Packing up now.
That's the wind to the session. Beautiful as well.
It's fat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
They're definitely on the feet now, aren't they?
Yeah. Warmed up a bit. She goes. Oh. Nice.
What's up, peeps? So as you can tell, I'm on my way home now with Keith, just driving. Hey.
Hello everyone.
Not seen Keith too often actually this session, but yeah, we're just driving home now. No more fish. Loads of fish have been caught. We sort of sat it out till about sort of 3:30 and then started packing up and left for 4. Just on our way home now, really, just hearing all the news about the coronavirus and stuff like that. But yeah, we was a little bit out of touch with what's going on at the moment, so we're just listening to the news and finding out. So it's a little bit scary stuff, isn't it, really? But I hope everybody's safe and you're all looking after each other, and make sure you're not licking
We've got plenty of toilet roll.
Yeah, plenty of toilet roll. You're not licking your hands after being on the bus. But yeah, that's it, really. Really enjoyed that session. Absolutely fantastic. I hope you enjoyed it too. It is a long one. We all caught. We all done okay. Cats and pike, which you know, is unusual to be catching on sort of like same session.
Really good social as well, wasn't it?
Was a good social. It's just a shame we wasn't close to each other, wasn't it? Really.
I think we're all busy anglers though, all making ourselves busy, walking around trying to make the best of every opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it worked because everyone caught. So.
Yeah, and we're all different anglers, as Keith said. You know, I'm a lazy angler, but I'm a lazy angler for 2 reasons. 1, because I physically can't do it, and 2, because I can't do it, and I can't be bothered to do it. But yeah, I think Keith's done about 50,000 laps around the lake.
I must have fished every peg twice.
Crazy. But yeah, we all caught, so it was a really good session, and it'll probably be the last one for quite a while now from me. So I don't know when the next one's going to be, but like I say, I hope you really enjoyed it. I just want to say thanks for watching. Tight line and dead baits.
Tight lines and dead baits.
Tight line and dead baits, and we'll catch you all soon, guys. Take care.